Hello and welcome to the Blackout Podcast, where I get to talk to amazing people who do amazing things. And I have my friend and the guy behind the Get Down, Frantik. Thanks for coming on the podcast today.
Thanks for having me,
I'm
man.
glad you grew your beard back, actually. Because like without the beard, I'm like, who is this person? So anyway, I mean, you've been releasing songs at an unprecedented rate. What's the story there? Like,
I think it was just a matter of finding like an engineer and a producer that like kind of worked as hard as me. Cause I always write that much. I'm like almost writing every day. So when I met Blossom, it just like made sense of like, oh, you can mix it like in 4 days? Okay, let's keep going. Let's go.
yeah, I'm like, how do you guys meet?
We met through Kid Coffin. We started a project that my identity is supposed to be unreleased in that project, but we started a project. It's gonna be cool. And we worked together, and then I met him through them there.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, like the songs, do they have any... Okay, I mean, I have so many questions. Let's talk about the Black, is it Black, the one where you're in space with the Lamborghini or Ferrari?
Yeah, the Lamborghini.
Yeah, what was the story there?
So Black Widow is like it's like an interdimensional like space story of like a psychedelic nature. So it's just basically me cruising around in space in a Lamborghini. And I got my friend Luke 2.0, shout out to Luke. He animated 2 of the videos. And I actually have something really, really cool coming up with him. I do, so there's this bad guy within the universe. His name's Void. He's like a black hole, but he also looks like a skeleton. So I'm gonna have a battle with him, and we have the whole thing animated.
Holy shit.
Yeah, the three different beat changes. It's gonna be wild.
So what is the inspiration behind the Black Widow and this world that you've created?
I don't know. I don't even like sci-fi that much, to be honest. I think I was just, I like wrote the songs, and I realized a lot of them were just like reference space, and then I was just like, all right, I'm in space now.
And one other thing you've done, like you're the social media king when it comes to artists. To me, like it's like you kind of figured this thing out. What happened? Like, how did you get to know? Okay, TikTok understands this. This is what Instagram likes, and this is how I'm going to release my songs and stuff like that.
Just being a goblin and just being glued to my phone. It's an addiction. It's terrible. But yeah, I think it was during the pandemic. I had a lot of time on my hands, and then I just looked up YouTube videos and tried to figure all the marketing kind of stuff out, because it was like something I like had left out. I was kind of just doing it for fun before, and then I was like, you know what? Like, I'm actually good enough to like potentially make this like at least sustainable. So I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna try. Like,
so let's rewind first though. The 2020 COVID happened. Like, you were having shows in the city. 2020 COVID happened. All that shut down. How was that experience for you?
It was good. I had a job. I was working at a school at the time, so I was working for the government, so I was covered in terms of like money. So it was just like, it was like time off to create for me, which was good. I was like, I could just do whatever I wanted. So all I did was like write, and I started painting. So it was just like be able to be in solitude. Like, I feel like I'm an introverted person, and I feel like I get my energy from being by myself, and like I like sharing that energy, but like being around people can be like draining sometimes.
Pretty much, yep.
Yeah. So it was good. I took it as a time to like really rethink of how I wanted to be as an artist and what I wanted to do, and just create, and just having that space to create was amazing.
And, you know, talking about creation, so you create these songs, but like, do you have like a release strategy? I know you're just creating a ton of songs and you're like, this is coming out, but do you have a like a okay, this will happen and this will happen when it comes to releasing the songs?
Yeah, so I've like through time the best strategy is to release every month or 6 weeks because that's when Spotify's algorithms like I get triggered the most or the best because you can only be on release radar for a month. So I was basing it off that. And then it got to a point where I was recording, like I had a bunch of music and I was just, it may as well see the light of day because I think it's good. So I started putting it out every 2 weeks. But it's basically, I'll like listen to my catalog and then I'll be like, I'll come up with like good song, really good song, great song. And then I'll kind of push it in that direction. It'll be different styles too. Like I find it really hard to pinpoint and stay in one style. Like my brain's just like, so, yeah, just try to like make sure like it's sonically makes sense. But yeah, like not that much thought because I feel like you put too much thought into it, you just never put anything out.
You'll freeze like,
Yeah.
this is not good enough. This is not. Well, the other thing about it is like, so I mean, you have all these intergalactic songs and all that, and like with the wild artwork and the animation. But every once in a while, you drop a song that is like so personal, like how Waltz with a way. What are like when with those personal songs, does it ever get scary to write? Like, because you're sharing, it's not just talking about like the void or something. It's like you're sharing some of yourself in those lyrics you write.
Yeah. Not really. I guess I don't really think about it. It just comes out. Like I can't write songs like that all the time. It kind of just comes out of me one time and then I don't know. I feel like it's hard to express who I am in conversation and just like day-to-day being. So I feel like when I write songs like that, I can actually like let people in because I find it really hard in like my personal life to like let people in. I'm kind of guarded in that way. So it's like my way to kind of show who I am.
And like, okay, so I mean, life has opened up to an extent. At least there are no restrictions anymore. Shows are happening. How do you like, I guess, when you're about to run a show, what is your process for planning that and deciding who's going to play and stuff?
I'll hit up people I really want to like see perform. Like I generally base it on like whether I like your music or not. And then based on that, I'll come up with like a theme. I think my favorite thing is working with like an artist to make the poster. I think it's like really fun. I'll just usually aliens or some shit. Yeah, the takeover or yeah, just like kind of coming up with like a concept through that. I had like it was like my nephew kind of took a step back in doing art, but I really like doing it with my nephew because I'd come up with like I did like a hip hop and metal show, and I called it Lit Biscuit. Like just dumb shit like that. I like dad puns and kind of just being just having fun with it. I don't concern myself too much with like what's gonna work. I just like put out a show that I would want to go to.
Oh, yeah. So, I mean, like, we have friggin' talented people in the city, but as in, running shows, making music yourself and stuff. What are some things you've noticed that are good in the city and things that are not as good in the city when it comes to music and people making music?
I think the good is like a lot of people are making a lot of good music here. Like especially considering how small Halifax is, I feel like the talent is definitely up there. I put on a lot of like all ages shows, like maybe like before the pandemic, and it's kind of cool to see all those lineups of all those kids like doing their own shows and like putting themselves out there and just like kind of like like being, I'm like, okay, I gotta step my game up. These kids are awesome. So it's been really cool to see that. I find what's difficult is a lot of the gatekeeping and a lot of like the the view of Halifax. I mean, Classified and Quake, they're all great and stuff like that, but I feel like that's kind of been, that style of hip hop has been like, that's what people think of when they think of Halifax, when there's like so much going on. Like there's like every genre is like someone's doing something in like every kind of subgenre of hip hop, but like we're only kind of known for that, and like only that kind of like hip hop is like pushed forward. So there's a lot of gatekeeping and stuff like that. I mean, everyone's doing their thing. Like you got to protect yourself too. So no shame, but I wish things were a bit more open.
Wow. Okay, I'm gonna let you go with this one though. As an artist watching or listening out there, what are some tips you can share? Like, you know, to get your music out there or just, you know, make your name?
Big thing is like if you're not familiar with getting a distributor, like a big thing is getting a distributor. I use DistroKid because it's fairly inexpensive. It's $20 a year, $40 if for the extended stuff, which is pretty useful. And you can put out unlimited things. I'm sure there's other distributors that are great too. Maintaining consistency is a big thing. Maintaining consistency and having a lot of visual media. Visual media is like with TikTok and stuff now, that's like the fastest way that artists are getting discovered. So having really good short form media is great because it'll catch people's eye, something that will catch someone's attention in 4 seconds, so they stick with you. So yeah, visual media, consistency, and just not being afraid of putting stuff out. If something doesn't work out, you always learn from it. So don't be afraid to put yourself out there and listen. Like, you know, I know everyone's up on their high horse, but sometimes other people's opinions, don't base your shit on other people's opinions. Grain of salt. If like 10 people are saying the same thing, they might be onto something.
Wow. Okay. I lied though. Actually, I didn't lie. That was meant to be my last question, but you mentioned visual, and I just remember that you used not well on your TikTok, but you have all these anime on there.
Yeah.
Like, how do you decide which one to use for what song? Because they're great.
Just basis on like if there's like a tiny theme. Sometimes it's hard to pinpoint the theme. But yeah, usually if there's like a theme, like I talk about something neon or like the animation style's neon. Lux has some pretty good, like Lux did the Belladonna one, which is like really cool. It's like a Joan of Arc kind of like revenge kind of rape fantasy thing, which doesn't fit the song at all. But like the visuals were like really trippy and stuff like that. So I just try to find like the weirdest, trippiest kind of anime to set. And yeah, I found some guy on Fiverr that does it really cheap, and he's got like a good kind of editing style. And also with the type of music I make, like there's like an interlay between anime fans and like what I make. So, you know.
Thanks so much for coming, Frantik.
Yeah, no problem.
They say life's too short, but they stay dragging on. Pay for all of my fuck ups. Gotta right all these wrongs. Play my life like a rerun before I'm dead and gone. This theater is empty. It's a strange kind of calm. The tickets are free, but I'm paying the cost. Wash away like a beach as the world's moving on. When I get off this seat, I will be dead and gone. Get a standing ovation as I shoot for the stars. We are wither away. the Milky Way. Life sure is beautiful, spite all the pain. All started from stars, we out with